Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. I'm Bobby Melendez, joined by Josh Kimmel. Josh, I'm seeing your face. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. You're muted. Let's see. I don't think it's you. Let's see.
All of a sudden,
There you
my
are.
screen flashed black, like my monitor, not yours, not anything else. It's my legit screen. So I'm glad we're back in action. No GM, nonsense happening on the show today. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to make a bad joke out of this disaster of a computer. I'm ready to talk wrestling because let me tell you, we had a great show Thursday night with Chris Koffler. Clutch couldn't make it. We talked about snore games and we put everyone to sleep talking snore games. So I hope we can raise up the the sense of urgency. For anyone that actually paid real money and isn't subscribed through their cable provider or doesn't have a VPN, we can't keep on paying $40 a pop for these D level paper. Like, just nothing happens. Nothing. It's just, what is it? I don't know, but we'll get into it. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing fine. I'm doing good. It has been a week. We have not talked anything wrestling. We didn't even touch base or anything. So we just touched base today. You texted me, and I was like, yes, I got something else besides Goldberg. We will do the Sinister Six of Goldberg. So, but yeah, War Games. We haven't touched on that. I agree. If it was lackluster, it wasn't what I expected. I don't even know what I want to say is the most exciting part. I'll tell you the part that I remember getting excited and my son had a very good laugh at one point. It's when Jey Uso did the encore during War Games, which is ridiculous, but he does it, and everybody's going crazy, and I said Brock's coming, and here comes Brock's music, and Brock comes in and destroys everybody, and he does the belly to back suplex to Jey Uso and hits the back end of hits the edge of the table. I started dying laughing. I was like, that is the worst. You see the tables kind of bent on the bottom. That's what I enjoyed about the show, was those little moments where me and my son could have a very good laugh. There was a moment where Braun Breaker did this whole thing where he was looking all cool, and all of a sudden he got wiped out, and my son couldn't stop laughing. He thought he was the main character. He thought this was his moment. He got wiped. Other than that, he was and there he is in the background. It wasn't that great. It wasn't a good. It was lackluster. Even the maxed man who came in, teases that it could be Seth Rollins. He does the curb stomp, and then just gets out of there. And then it's like, man, he doesn't reveal himself. Is it Austin Theory? Is it? Who is it? He looked too big to be anybody else. So, it's Seth Rollins. Well, Seth Rollins just got an injury. Oh, well, it's this guy. This guy can't move like that. They don't reveal it. And then they advertise that, Paul Heyman's going to reveal who it is on Monday Night Raw. And it never gets brought up. So, and then, of course, yay, Dominic wins the IC title again. I know a lot of people were hyped on that, or were bang, San Diego, John Cena, very cool. All right, Liv is back. You know what I mean? But it's like, really? I'm like, eh.
So that was the only good thing about. Well, Stephanie, people thought Nikki Bella was going to win that. Come on, but I didn't understand Liv's. I complained about this off the start. I turned the show off. Full disclosure: as soon as the Liv thing happened, I turned the show off. I said, enough. I'm not wasting another 90 minutes of my life. I'm not. And here's why. I went back and, of course, I didn't watch any of the Nikki Bella match. There's only a limited amount of time of my life. I did watch the men's War Games later on the next day. But explain to me why John agreed to take Raquel's finisher, Roxanne's finisher, and get beat up by Liv Morgan and have it to do with what? Why would John Cena? I know he's dumb, as in like his character, because he acts dumb. He does the facials like, oh, he's a dumb baby face. But why would he think Liv Morgan would come back to help him and then jump into his arms and he accepts it? Who wrote that? Who wrote that? Why? It made that part. If Liv would have just came back,
yeah,
and did the thing with Dom, and then walked out, and John's like, oh, like he could have been like an observer, like, oh, what did I just see? And as Liv's walking out, John's like, well, I guess like, and as he does the whelp, she can then kick him in the balls, and then they, what the whole jump? That was such, God, it was so bad. It was cringe. It was cringe, as the kids say. What was that?
it was bad because it was so obvious. There was no surprise factor. Liv coming out, awesome. Wow. Her smacking Dom for whatever reason. Oh, wait, is that reality? Is she doing it because, the whole Raquel situation? Not Raquel, Roxanne. But then to turn around and jumping on John Cena, then you're like, okay, now I know what's going to happen. Everybody knew, but John Cena apparently in the arena, that he was about to get low blowed. And John is John Cena. That's just what he is. He plays the crowd. He's what? It's the same thing. It's the Hogan thing. Plays the crowd, over dramatic, overreacting, overacting. And then he gets, I was going to say nutted, gets kicking the nuts. And, here comes Dom, they saved the day. So I don't know. I mean, taking all the finishers, okay, Super Cena situation, he double, that's okay. I'm okay with the multiple finishers from the girl, give them their rub. They did it to Cena. They get to say that in their career, that we got to do that to John Cena in his final PLE. That's fine. It's the closing of the match. It's the wrap up. It's the go home. I did not like the go home of the match. The John Cena, the quote unquote GOAT, the never seen 17, getting fooled by Liv Morgan. Come on. So I don't know. Again, I would have felt better, like, if that would have been the case and he would have still won it. And then it's like, oh, then it's kind of makes sense because they screwed up. The Judgment Day screwed up, and that maybe that could lead that story. But I'm more I'm more of a patient person. I like to see, I know what John Cena's end game is, so I'm okay with him having a screwy ending because his career is set. It's where does the Judgment Day storyline go from here? Where does Dominic's story and Liv's story go from here? What does that do to the rest of their story? Obviously Liv is playing like she's friends with everybody. She's holding up Raquel and Roxanne's hands on Raw with the tag titles. And so that's where I'm like, okay, no, I did not like the wrap up, but I'm over the finish. But let's see where it goes from here. Overall, the show was a C.
You're being generous. The women's War Games match, which I did watch that full thing.
They did exactly what you said. Trash can on the top, which is, again, EO is super talented, and she's, all of the above. AJ Lee was really, I'll say it about all of them because I'm going to say, I don't want to say it looks like I'm targeting AJ Lee, but I'll just say AJ Lee, Roman Reigns, Lesnar had a longer spot, but he falls in that. They really were the main attraction. They did not really do anything other than show up, do a couple of things, and then go home. Brock had a little more action. Roman did get a few big bumps, but I feel like AJ Lee, like, the first time, oh, here she is, and now it's like, okay, now I'm cooled down. I'm good. I don't know. Am I crazy to say that right now? Is it too fast to say that I'm sick of it?
You're talking to the wrong guy, brother, because I didn't want her back in the first place. And I was never excited for her to come back. I never saw her as a interesting person in my women's wrestling history. When I think,
Maria,
and I'm going to get a lot of I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, especially probably from Maria.
Uh-oh.
I know Clutch will give me hate for this. I know he will. I don't think of women's wrestling AJ Lee. Not even close. Like, I just don't. I don't.
You don't think what? I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Like women's wrestling and AJ Lee. She's on the same level as Nikki Bella to me. I never understood it, but I went along with it. People like her, yada, yada, yada. But, like, I didn't care that she's back. Maybe it's because it's not my era. Maybe because I didn't watch wrestling as hard or as much during her era. I just saw her as the psycho girl that kissed everyone on TV. I didn't see her as Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch. She was just the best of what was there. So I didn't care for AJ Lee. I think she's cringe. I think this return's cringe. I think it's awful. I think it's a flop. Um, Becky Lynch is doing the best, and this is me speaking here. Becky Lynch is doing the best with what she has, and she's doing a really good job with it. The whole I didn't tap out. I'm waving for my partners. Come help me. Like I love what Becky Lynch is doing. She is the spotlight of the women's division right
Yes,
now.
she is. Yeah, 100%.
And that's me saying this, guys. Like, come on, this is hard for me to say, but she is the highlight of Raw some points. So Becky, her whole interaction in the War Games match was great. Did you notice a lot of like they're just every woman was partnered with another woman, and they would just lay on the mat and fake punch each other for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then it just, what is this? What are we doing? I don't know. Maybe it's because Blood and Guts was a week earlier and we saw all that.
Well, and
then
I will say, I did not see Blood and Guts. I did not watch it. I did see a couple clips of it. And I will say, somebody did an example. And again, I'm not saying for WWE or anybody to go that crazy or any of that thing. It's a little much, However, at least a part of it probably is more real than not just because of what they're doing. But at least make it look real. There was a time where War Games was War Games. It was like Hell in the Cell. Hell in the Cell used to mean something. Elimination Chamber used to mean something. If you go back and watch the first couple of Elimination Chambers, you did not want to be involved in that match, even if it's a storyline or whatever. War Games used to feel legitimate, like, oh, this is this is bad. You're going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get smashed around. There was a time where they teased, even on the steps, not the steps, but the metal part in between the ring, and they wouldn't even do it. They wouldn't do nothing on it. You go over to Blood and Guts, and again, I will go back and watch it because I want to just reference, but they did I saw a couple spots where at least they're showing the deadliness of that match. It looks like you do not want to be, when you're in that match, it's war. You're going to war. Where in War Games, it's a SmackDown cage match, two matches, two cages put together. Let's just throw up a couple guys in there and mess around. Like the men's War Games felt more physical. Becky Lynch at one point, and I'm not knocking her, it's just what it is, but Becky Lynch at one point was getting her face pressed against the cage, and really it wasn't. Her hand was there, and it's kind of like, come on. You could do that without actually killing them. So I'm not going to say it because I'll say a couple spots I saw. Blood and Guts looked a little more real, looked a little more deadly. So I'm not going to say something that I don't know, but I'm just going to say, take some risks. Take some risk. And I'm with you. I don't think you're out of ballpark whatsoever. I understand the nostalgia. I would rather, and I hate saying this, I understand the because it's, oh, we've missed you. Oh my gosh, whatever. I was never an AJ Lee person, but it was cool. She gets back into it. She looks like there's not that much rust, but you could tell there's it's like, okay, the whole, tilting the head and, and all that extra stuff. It's like, okay, like I'd rather watch Nikki Bella come out. I'd rather watch Nikki Bella or when she pops in. I do enjoy her as a heel. I understand. Like I saw something she wrote where they wanted her to be a full on heel. And she's like, I need to build that up. She can't just throw her out there and, she's been a babyface this whole time. Now Stephanie Vaquer needs a heel. Let's turn Nikki Bella heel. And that's not flesh out that character. I understand it, and I understand what type of wrestler she is. Again, you got to put these people in winning situations, but with AJ Lee, they treat her as the main attraction. They're treating her like, she's the architect of the women's division when really she's not. That Becky, Charlotte, what it is now, Charlotte, Becky, Bayley, and Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, she may have helped it a little bit, but she's not that. She's not like that type of Trish Stratus status, no pun intended. So I don't know. If WWE can't do violent matches, no problem. Then don't book matches that require violence, Maria says.
Yeah, easy. It's easy. And, don't do 2 in one night. You know why I didn't watch the men's match? Because I wasn't going to watch this. I was going to watch the Stephanie Vaquer, Nikki Bella match just strictly for personal reasons. No wrestling involvement there. But as far as the men's war game match, yeah,
I got it. It's okay.
Nikki's awesome, and I'm glad Nikki's back. But I will say that I just saw an hour of this women's match where I had time to go downstairs, make a sandwich. I could go walk the dog. It was such a boring, draining match. I'm not gonna sit here and watch another one. And then you know how ridiculous it is. I'm over this, and this is just wrestling as a whole, where every person needs their signature weapon customized to look like what Io with the fuck, dude. I love Io. I love her. I'm not gonna. I almost did, but with the cringe customizable trash can lid and making sure she has it in every camera shot because they're producing the back to do so. It just looks like it just looks like a high school play.
Well, and again, with this is more evident than ever, or in that time frame, and that's why I say, when we were on Rainy Day Pod on two Raw for SmackDown, shout out to those guys. But when we're talking AEW, WWE, I was saying, how I am. I joke around. I'm critical of AEW, whatever, but it's really just not my cup of tea. And I will watch, and I do try to follow a little bit here and there. But we have to accept what WWE is, and we got to accept what AEW is. You might not get a lot of story and everything in this crazy buildup or whatever from AEW. You're going to get a lot of fun matches. You'll get a lot of fun matches, but you're not going to get that story buildup. There is some story, but it's not as where WWE. It's entertainment. It's in the name. Entertainment. It's a show. It is a soap opera. It's drama. It's what can we do to entertain the live audience, and the TV audience is just watching. That's what that is. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt. And that's why, for me, there are things that really bother me or that I'm annoyed with. I'm not annoyed, but I'm kind of like, did we really need to do that? Was that? But again, it's like, let's wait and see what happens next. What's going to be the next thing? And, obviously AJ Lee and Becky Lynch are going to follow through. They're going to have their one-on-one eventually. The men's War Games match, the way it ended, especially my thing, Cody Rhodes. After CM Punk, which again, that spot's okay again, but then not revealing who it was, or not even revealing the next night who it was. We're all just assuming who we think it is with the curb stomp guy. But CM Punk defeated. Roman comes in, extends his hand. But there's a little bit of a stare down, but extends his hand, helps Punk up, fist bump. I don't understand what the hell Cody was doing. He gets back. He gets in Roman's face. Roman looks like he was helping him. He gets up, gets in Roman's face. And it's like, I don't know. I can't take it seriously. I can't. I'm looking at him like, why?
Yeah.
What I mean? And Roman just says, hey, dude, we're not going to team. This is the last time we ever team up. And okay, we picked it up. So stick to it. Supposedly they're building to another Roman versus Cody, which was assumed that was going to happen, just not necessarily at WrestleMania, apparently. Again, what my guess is based off that trailer, and it could go either way because Maria's going to like this. Because based off the WrestleMania trailer, again, the four people I saw, I was like, that could be the main event. Those could be the main events. I mean, I could see Roman, Cody, or Cody, CM Punk, Roman, Brock again, whatever. But who's had a very good run, even though War Games wasn't that great, since the Seth injury, who's really taken advantage of that situation, is Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked. I remember I was saying, I was like, I don't think he's there yet. I don't know if he's ready to get. And again, I as a heel, he could be there. He could carry a brand as a heel, on the microphone, because he really, not his dad, but his uncle on the microphone. It reminds me of, he carries that Scott Steiner persona really good on the mic.
That promo was great on Raw.
You know what I mean? It's like, I'm like, God, dude, so you add that with what he can do in the ring, and you keep him as a heel, as a-hole heel, you can have a lot of fun with that. And, again, you have a lot of star power that could easily throw in the main event, but if he continues on that trend, I don't know who's more the favorite right now to win the Royal Rumble than Braun Breaker. I could see that going down just by the trajectory of the scenario, of that, unless they really want to just wait for Seth Rollins and let them have their one-off, unless he goes to the Rumble, wins at WrestleMania, and then Seth comes on the Raw after WrestleMania. But Breaker has really gotten the best out of this situation with the Seth injury and everything else. It's just, who's the masked man, and are we going to end up not really giving a damn after we reveal him? Because I think we would have cared more if we would have saw him reveal his face at War Games. It would have mattered more. Now I don't know if it does, because now we're still wondering who it is. And if it ends up being Austin Theory, okay, we knew that. Why did you wait? Unless it's somebody we don't know and it's like, whoa, that was left field. It's Edge. It was Edge. Stop it.
I
saw that. Go ahead.
I have thoughts on everything you said. I'm going to tackle them one by one.
Go for it.
First one's the easiest one. Austin Theory, masked man, revealing themselves. If Austin Theory would have revealed himself in a circle of Roman Reigns, CM Punk.
Yeah.
No, but be realistic.
Yeah.
Would the fans care? No. So the anticipation of building up who it is it Austin Theory? It builds that. And think about it, because if Austin Theory ripped his face off in the middle of all those superstar Hall of Famers, would anyone give a damn? No, it would have been like, Austin Theory. That would have been the response. It would have been a joke. It would have been a meme. It would have failed. So them keeping a disguise, keeping it under wraps, us talking about it, because Triple H and that creative team uses social media and they rely on us fans to talk about stuff and yada yada yada. See the Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes stuff. Anticipates the build, so when the reveal does happen, we can go, wow, we were right. We knew it was Austin Theory, so we're happy that we knew it was right. We were right. We busted Triple H's storyline. We were right. So when he reveals himself, we're all happy. It's not a failure anymore. That's the first point. So I tackled that. You could think I'm wrong. That's okay. But this is a thought process that I'm just thinking out. Second,
no, I'm not thinking you're wrong. I think that would be ridiculous for WWE to be doing that. Again, I get what you're saying, but come on. It's Austin Theory. Get it over with.
Second,
if it's not, it has to be bigger than Austin Theory.
Braun Breaker. Maria already said it. He's winning the championship in January. He's beating CM Punk. There's no chance Braun Breaker loses his first ever World Heavyweight Championship match.
See that.
He's winning. That's a fact. CM Punk's winning the Royal Rumble. Or somehow getting back to Braun Breaker. That's your main event. That's your main event for WrestleMania. I could easily see Roman Cody on the other side. Easily see that. So I think you're right, Bobby. Those are the main events. But I think CM Punk's going to be the one chasing again because it's a better story. It's a better story. It just is. And then a babyface chasing. And then on the other side, you have Roman getting a shot against Cody. I think that's how it plays out. I think you're dead on. But I think you have the way it plays out a little bit differently than I do, which is fine. I think that's the main event no matter what, though. It has to be. Braun Breaker is a freaking superstar. We saw it on Monday night. That promo where he was just yelling and screaming, and I'm like, is this a good promo? It is a good promo. You know why? Because he stumbled 2 lines and he recovered immediately without missing a beat. Superstar. I love Braun Breaker. I love Seth Rollins getting hurt. It's the best thing that could have happened to Braun Breaker's career. And I think it's going to take off.
My only fear and again, I have no issue with that because, again, I love surprises, and I think a championship change on a Monday Night Raw to start off the new year would be epic. And and going against a CM Punk would be a great call just because, Punk is one of the best in the ring, and he will make Braun Breaker look like $1 million, even though Braun Breaker doesn't need to look like $1 million because he is. But I would love it because it's a surprise. My only concern is how, because you're like, no, Braun Breaker should not lose his world title match, his first world title match or whatever. But you got to throw in the Seth Rollins wrench. How far off are we from Seth Rollins? First appearance on TV or recent appearance on TV, he didn't have his brace on. So that's the one thing where that's the only thing where I'll throw the wrench in and be like, how does that play in? But you're right. And that could be the case. I don't know about Punk chasing him because I think Punk's probably going to move on to, Brock or Cody or Roman, whatever, but You know, and I mean, then is it Seth and Braun Breaker at WrestleMania? You know, are they going to rush to throw the title on a Braun Breaker, or do they find a way that somebody messes around? Is it the Masked Man? You know, first the Masked Man attacked CM Punk. Now the Masked Man comes back and attacks Braun Breaker. Now you're like, wait, is it Seth Rollins? Because Seth Rollins has beef with both. He hates CM Punk, but Braun was the one who speared him. So, you know, as much as I would love it, a title change on Monday Night Raw, because it's not expected. It's unexpected. It's something you don't see often. I don't know if I think there's a wrench in there. I think that's where you see, like, wait a second. You know, does the Masked Man come and curb stomp Punk again and their disqualification? Punk wins from DQ, and, you know, Braun Breaker's like, what? Who the hell is this guy? So we'll see. Maria brings up a good point in here. That it's a good question. You know, Kieran Cross or LA Knight should be the Masked Man. Theory is a rotten choice to join the Vision. If not Austin Theory, if you were booking the Masked Man, who would it be? Who would you put in the Vision if you were booking it?
Me? You're asking me?
Yeah.
It's hard to see. It's going to be hard for me to buy in Austin Theory because he's such a loser. He was built as a loser for over a year and a half. So I don't know how they're going to recoup that. That's the easy spot because he's been away for so long.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be LA Knight. He's too big. He's too big of a star. He needs to
That's my thing. He can't. I don't see him in a group.
He's almost 40. Like, he's old. Or he's probably past 40 now. But, you know, either way. I don't think I'd put anyone in there, but I like the Seth Rollins idea. I love the idea of the Masked Man coming out on January 6th and curb stomping Braun Breaker. And CM Punk can still win that way, and then we're all confused. That's a great idea. Great idea.
Yeah. And then, but again, if it was to go that route, that's when that would be the turn for Braun Breaker, because now Breaker is trying to, or Seth Rollins is on his own, and Seth Rollins would be, you know, the face, you know, because again, I do not want to see Braun Breaker as a babyface. If he is a babyface, he has to be the anti-hero, not even a hero, like Awesome Truth, Carmelo Hayes. That's an interesting take. I like that. That's interesting. I think I saw that as well. Somebody threw Kieran Cross. You know, again, I know he's on his own way. He's a little older. Seems a guy who should lead it. I understand, Maria, but LA Knight is already big. And he's already, you know, and you know, people are banging the table for him to be his own guy. I mean, there's a lot of people pissed off that he's not going to be John Cena's final opponent. They're treating it like he's not getting a title shot. Oh, he should have been. They treat him so bad. You should go to AEW, and he'd be in the bottom of the roster somewhere. So it's not like Batista, who was just brand new. He was an unknown, so they threw him in Evolution. He was the second choice of that group, by the way, in regards of the big guy. It was supposed to be Matt Morgan, not Dave Batista. Ended up being Batista, which was the greatest choice because Batista was awesome, you know, and Batista's a legend, no doubt. No offense to Morgan, who's not a legend, but Carmelo Hayes is a very good name and interesting. But again, I think the reason why they didn't reveal it, because maybe they got some information that Seth Rollins might be. I don't think it was Seth Rollins who did it, but because I don't think he could do that right now with that jumping and everything. But I think they left it open so they could reveal down the line, oh, it was Seth Rollins. And, you know, he reveals himself, and now it's Braun versus Seth, and Seth is getting his revenge against the Vision, who turned on him. So, yeah, I think we'll see, man. That's the cool thing. We were not happy with the show. We were left dissatisfied. But what did they do that was right? They left you asking questions and saying, this is where I want him to go now. So as much as we weren't happy with the show, we're still going, they should go this way, or they should go that way. I wonder who it was. They did exactly what they wanted to do.
Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody goes, hey, Bobby, did you see that show? It was awesome, man. It was great. No, we go, hey, Bobby, did you see the end of Game of Thrones? It sucked. Which I still defend it was an awesome end, by the way.
I love Game of Thrones, man. I do. I wish they had more to it, but I like the new shows. I'll say that. But Yeah, we'll wait and see. Moving on, today's episode. Usually every week now we dedicate a show to, but now this one we're not dedicated. We got because we want to talk about John Cena's final opponent. It's been revealed, as you know, it's Gunther. So we're going to talk about, was Gunther the right decision? Is there anybody else we should be talking about, or should have got that spot? But before we get there, let's get to Goldberg. Maria says Logan Paul should not be in the vision when the masked man reveals himself. Why is that, Maria? I'd love to know. I'd love to know. Where are you going? Where's your booking hat?
I can't wait for the moment where Logan Paul gets speared by Braun Breaker, because we all know it's going to happen, and I think that can happen, and they can both remain heels. I do.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you can just tell how annoyed Braun Breaker was at Logan Paul at some points at that during that promo. I don't know, man. I can't wait. I just can't. That's gonna happen. I think Logan Paul. By the way, I know nobody wants to hear this. Logan Paul's the biggest star in that group. If he committed full time, I know I've been saying this, and we've all been saying this. If Logan Paul committed full time, he's a Hall of Famer, 1,000%. He's one of the greatest heels in the business today.
You know what, where I kind of, and I hate to say this because it's easy to hate Logan Paul, but I'll say, he reminds me of, in regards of how fast he took on, how fast he got, like figured out the quote unquote business of wrestling and how to do a character, how to do the wrestling itself, how to make matches. Kurt Angle, those guys had no business getting to that point so fast.
Mm-hmm.
They are so good at what they do. So Logan Paul is in that stratosphere of, like, as a character in the ring. And I'm not saying exact match. I'm talking about the way they picked it up.
Yep.
That's how good Logan Paul is. And I hate to say it because I can't stand Logan Paul. Logan Paul as a third wheel is not a good choice. Would you rather him be the leader of the group? Is that what we're saying? I think it's a good choice because he's been stuck in the mid card. To put himself with Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker, the future of the business, those three, quote unquote, the futures of the business. And then, of course, Brock, not officially a part of the group, but obviously a Paul Heyman guy. To me, that's a great spot for Logan Paul. I think it is. So I like Logan Paul being a part of the group. I really do. I think they need a leader. I think they need
Paul Heyman's the leader. Fine.
Which is cool too. Again, I would love to. If I was booking it, Paul Heyman would be a mafioso. I'd make Paul Heyman the mob boss.
He's a leader.
The Penguin. He's the guy, and then there's all his henchmen. There's his Sinister Six. Oh, he has to be the leader or the right hand man. So she thinks he should be in the front of the line, not one of the random guys on the side.
Yeah, I think so too.
Interesting. There you go. I like it. All right, let me tell you something. This Sinister Six with Goldberg.
It's tough.
Was a lot harder than I thought it was, legitimately.
Tough.
And I'll say the only reason why, like I say that about Kurt Angle and Brock and whatever, but the reason why I say about those guys is because they had so many great feuds. Where Goldberg, he didn't really have a lot of great feuds because his were more one-offs. So it was very tough because I rather go on feuds. So I had to do a lot of deep diving and at a certain point, and if you cheat and you go, let me go look at somewhere else. Let me go see what other people are saying. There were other names on there, and I'm not going to mention them until me and Josh go through, and maybe I'll mention them after because I don't want to steer the ship or play my hand. So we'll wait. But let's talk Goldberg's Sinister Six. Maria, those who are tuning in, Sammy, I see you in there. Great to see you. Make sure I'm not missing somebody. Forgive me if I do. Awesome Truth. Who do you believe are Goldberg's Sinister Six, his greatest rivals in his wrestling career? I'll start off for me. I think there's 3 easy ones or 2 easy ones for sure. The first one, I'm going to go in WCW. I'm going to go Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash, I believe, is in his Sinister Six. The first guy to beat him. They multiple matches on TV and pay-per-view, but obviously the main one was when he beat the Streak, and then the following night on Raw we had the finger poke of doom. So when you think of Goldberg, Kevin Nash, you think of Goldberg. When you think of Goldberg, you think of Kevin Nash. So I'm gonna roll with Kevin Nash. Are you and I in agreement on that part?
Yeah, Goldberg. He has a 2-1-1 against Kevin Nash all time. So yeah, they you can't think Goldberg without Kevin Nash in either or. 173-0 was snapped at Starrcade 1998, December 27th, due to shenanigans, of course. Um, you're right, man. Goldberg didn't have a lot of feuds. It was a lot of moments. He lived for the moment. Goldberg he's the definition of a moment, a capsule in time. That was when wrestling was at its hottest. So it's arguably I'm not going to say the biggest star in wrestling history, but if you want to put him up there, he can make a case because remember, like if okay, I'm going to put this. Football is the biggest sport in the not the world, but in America, right? Football, National Football League, put it on any day of the week. People are going to
Yeah.
watch it. All right. The best like player in the world right now is Mahomes, right? He's a superstar. We know he's like the best moment, right? So that's Goldberg. Right there at that moment, him and Stone Cold were the two biggest stars in their profession. So therefore, how do you not have feuds? How? How did they fail him? He was a world heavyweight championship in WWE and WCW. He held a couple mid card titles, but mainly there was no blood feuds. So that really pisses me off, honestly, because he should have Austin. You think about Austin, he was the other guy. He had 1,000 feuds. He had a bunch of feuds. This guy was one match with Goldberg, one match with my next guy, which I'm just going to transition to Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
One match, but you can't think of Hogan without Goldberg. In 1998, Goldberg beat him in the Georgia Dome. I'm sure he's on your list as well.
He is. And again, I think more, and that's a great point you brought up with Goldberg, and because he had such a monster, like when I say this, as much as we love to joke about Goldberg is one of the biggest stars in professional wrestling. I mean, he is, we know his poster, and you think he's one of the most generic, black trunks, black boots, muscles, bald beard, goatee, but a powerhouse. But he did have one of the greatest impacts in wrestling that he left such the biggest dent that you're always going to talk about Goldberg, but in the same sense, he was maybe the biggest flash in the pan. It was that one big year, the undefeated streak, beating Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan in the Georgia Dome, winning the world championship in under a year. That has carried him through the entirety of his career, that it made it so long, but it never lasted enough that he had these major feuds. What?
I
saw your eyes light up.
Yeah, because your example about Justin, we did not get to Gunther and Cena yet. We'll get there after the Sinister 6. But he's like a TikToker.
Yes.
Boom and doom. He
blows
up.
thing. And again, not taking anything out of his career. I mean, because he's had a legendary career that most wrestlers would love to have, right? However, the reason why he's never had, and it just hit me like because what you were saying, the reason why he doesn't have all these feuds, he's had all these major matches that we all remember him, is because he had that one flash in the pan. So Hollywood Hogan was huge, and it was just one match, but it was one match. But they've had tons of interactions in their WCW run. The finger poke of doom when Goldberg was getting arrested, Hogan was laughing in the background, and and then they had a run where when Goldberg was the heel and Hogan was the babyface, and they tagged against each other. And so, even though they only had one major match, they still their careers in WCW were intertwined when Goldberg was there. So Hollywood Hogan is absolutely on that list. The next one I will say, which is a pretty easy one, and I like that Maria said that, so I don't feel as off now that I see the name on there, because apparently I was wrong for a while until I saw Maria. Now I feel better. But I'm going to say, obviously, it's Brock Lesnar. There's no way Brock Lesnar's not on this list. He is like we say, he doesn't have a lot of feuds. Well, there's one defining feud that's been there, and that's Brock. That's the one where it's like, and it's still to this day. Even though Goldberg now retired and Brock is like a legitimate part-time, almost out the door, you don't say Brock without Goldberg. These two, and Brock has had a better matches, everything else, better wrestler, but these two go hand in hand. So Brock is for sure on this. If not, we say number 3 because we're just going down the thing here. but you could absolutely put him at number one as the number one guy in the Sinister Six for Goldberg.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're in agreement for that.
There's not much to go into that. We talked about it on the show. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch the Brock Lesnar Sinister Six. But yeah, everything you just said, you can't think of one without the other. I'm gonna go ahead and then give my fourth. Where's my fifth?
Your fourth.
My fourth. Okay.
Right now.
All right. So I got how many more? 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I was gonna save this guy for last, but Maria spoiled it. Maria already spoiled it. It's my favorite wrestler of all time. I'm going Chris Jericho. Yep. He is in my Sinister Six.
Wow. Okay.
As a young child, this is my era. Like, I don't need to look up notes. I don't need to go look, because it's all in my brain. The Jericho feud with Goldberg lives on in my mind forever. It's the feud that never happened. Exactly. Jericho came out on TV and did his thing. Greenberg. At the time, Greenberg didn't make sense to me. As an adult and I know what the word green means, he was calling him he was calling him green. You suck. Greenberg. No wonder why Goldberg didn't want to work with you, brother. But that was a light bulb that should have hit my mind at the moment. Wow, Goldberg's not for the business. He's for himself. This would have been a money match. Jericho wanted to lose. Jericho wanted to get speared out of his shoes. But they've made up, yada, yada, yada. But honestly, I can't think of my favorite wrestler of all time without Greenberg or Bill Goldberg. I just think that this is they are Sinister Six in real life and in wrestling history. I wish that would have happened. It would have been great.
Oh, I like that. I like that you said that. I don't agree. I get, but because it was backstage, it wasn't in the ring. They did have, they had a couple matches. The elimination.
They had a match in They had a match at Bad Blood. Goldberg beat him.
Yeah.
I have this right here, and it closed out, but it was a WWE Bad Blood tour. I don't know if that was a house show or on TV, but I don't think they ever wrestled on TV.
They the only one I ever remember was the elimination chamber, spearing through the elimination chamber through the plastic.
Yeah, but no one-on-one matches. So,
I do think that ask Brett. Bret Hart, man, you can't get him off the damn microphone.
Spoiler.
Did you see what Bret Hart said?
I heard. He was almost on my list.
That should have been on our topic list. Maybe it will. Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about it. But okay, I love it. I thought you were going the other way, because I will just say I wasn't going to mention this name until a little later on the next couple, but I'll say it now for my fourth, because again, Maria spoiled it for me on that end. I will say Triple H. Triple H is another guy who, we go, man, Goldberg didn't have a lot of feuds. He did have one with Triple H when he came in, and it was an entertaining feud. And of course, he was lined up as one of Triple H's, monster, feuds for his World Championship run, his heel run on Raw, but ended up being a little more. And of course, and then Goldberg became the champion and held on to it for a little while. But Triple H was always there, and they had some entertaining matches, and I did enjoy them. And I liked that run with Evolution and Goldberg and so forth. So I'll say Triple H is on my Sinister Six. You
just closed out my list. Yeah, of course.
You got two more.
No, I had Jericho, Triple H.
You got one. You got one more then.
Yeah, and it was Triple H.
That's 5.
I did all of mine. I swear to you, because that's my notes right here, and I've been deleting them as I did them. I did Brock Lesnar. I agree with you there. Triple H. I disagree with you, and I was going to talk about it. Chris Jericho, Kevin Nash, Hollywood Hogan. Oh, I only wrote 5, brother.
Brother, I'm keeping track, my man.
And I have the note, and I have all my notes here. Oh no. Okay. All right. Well, I guess Bret Hart. No, but I have Triple H on my list.
Okay, so Triple H. Okay.
Because it makes sense. And Triple H, surprisingly, took an L. Well, he was injured, so he had to take an L. Yeah. But if he was injured, do you think he would have ever taken this loss? Do you think he would have given Goldberg a win? That's my question to you. In that era, knowing what you know about Triple H and how he loved to bury WCW talent or people he didn't like.
Back then, fans weren't on the hate Goldberg train. So Goldberg was, and at least with the audience, was pretty hot at that point. And he was having better matches than what he did at the end of his career. So I think yes, he would have taken the L still, because it would have made for the better story about taking the L, Goldberg winning, and then taking it back, and then saying that I was able to beat Goldberg, which basically occurred. So I would go with. I'm gonna
But
go
he
yes
didn't
on that.
know.
Did he never beat Goldberg?
No,
Never
it was
beat Goldberg?
It was a triple threat match with Kane. Kane was in
Kane?
that triple threat match, and that's how Triple H got the title back. Kane took the pin.
Ah.
Yeah. So the first match was the Elimination Chamber. Triple H pinned Goldberg with a sledgehammer, and then they wrestled at Survivor Series. That's when Goldberg won.
Okay.
Or no, Goldberg defended, because the Unforgiven match. It was a retirement match. Unforgiven, 2003. That's when Goldberg won the title from Triple H. And then he defended it at Survivor Series. And then December 14th, Armageddon, Kane, Goldberg, Triple H pinned Kane.
Okay.
So
there you go.
But that's my few too. And I honestly, I gotta think of a 6.
Well, let me go. Maybe I'll help you out here, because I got 2 more.
Right.
For number 5, I'm gonna go with another one where it was a lot harder, just because I don't remember if they did have I know they had a handful of matches, but the biggest one is Halloween Havoc. I'm gonna go with DDP. I know I did not make Goldberg at Sinister 6 or Diamond Dallas, because Diamond Dallas actually had good feuds. But I will say DDP is on that Sinister 6 for Goldberg. And I just got to go back to that Halloween Havoc match. He was the one that stretched Goldberg. He was the one that pushed him to the limit. I could say really Steve Regal. But no, at least one that was on purpose was DDP. And they put a great match, and, just showing how great DDP is, but also brought out the best in Goldberg. So I'll put DDP in there. And number 6, I saw someone put The Rock there. Jericho, which Josh has put up. Jericho. I'm going to say Scott Steiner. I know a lot of us did not watch the 2000s WCW.
No.
But those two, and I remember this. I remember that. I know Bret Hart was probably, you could throw him in there, but not really. But if you go back to the 2000s, that's when Scott Steiner really was Big Papa Pump. That's where he really made the name for himself. He was out of the shadows of NWO Hollywood. He wasn't with Rick Steiner anymore. He was off of Buff Bagwell. He had, I forgot who the 2 ladies were. He walked out with a tiger. I mean, that was when he was Big Papa Pump, and he murdered Hulk Hogan. He murdered Ric Flair. He murdered anybody on the microphone. It was ridiculous. And then the matches he had with Goldberg back then, and I just rewatched one now, and because was the oh my gosh, I'm gonna forget the damn pay-per-view. What was it? It was one he had with he had a face mask on, but that one I just rewatched, but it was like brutal. I mean, he dropped Goldberg in his head like twice, but like in a way, like you could tell Goldberg wasn't really hurt. Goldberg was busted open. They were physical. I mean, it was like legitimate, like they beat each other like they hated each other. And so I remember the few matches that they had. That's the one I just rewatched, and I was like, holy crap. I'm like, it's Scott freaking Steiner, man. And people don't realize because Vince Russo was involved in that match, and I was like, ugh, this doofus. I mean, he was beating the hell out of Goldberg with that bat, though. I think obviously that was a staged bat, but I mean, that hurt like a mother for me, at least. And I'm watching here. So yes, it was during the Vince Russo era. So I understand why people missed it or don't want to go back and watch it, or they force themselves to forget. But if you got it in you to go back and look, go back and watch that era and go watch Scott Steiner. Steiner was a lot of fun back then. And he was a lot of fun. And him and Goldberg had some very fun matches. Like you go back and go, damn, where was this Goldberg? Who was this guy? Because Scott Steiner brought it out. People forget Scott Steiner is, he's all muscle and everything, but he's not just all muscle. This dude was one of the better guys in the ring. Him and his Rick Steiner were legit. And that's why, even though Braun Breaker is Rick Steiner's son, and Rick Steiner is one of the best tag team wrestlers in wrestling, and I really enjoyed him as a single star in WCW as well. I see a lot of Scott Steiner in Braun Breaker. So if you like Braun Breaker, go check out Scott Steiner in WCW 2000. A monster. So that's my Sinister 6. Have you decided on your final one?
I have, and I don't care if you accept it or not. This is the way it's going to be.
You're going to say Bret Hart.
No, I'm going to say the fans. I'm going to say the fans. Listen. I'm going back. No. I'm going back down to 2017. His return to the Royal Rumble. Okay, he didn't win it, but he returned. 2017 May defeats Kevin Owens in his first match back for the title. Okay, first off, red flag. Then Brock Lesnar beats him. Then Undertaker beats him. Then Goldberg beats Dolph Ziggler at his height when we love Dolph Ziggler in under 2 minutes at SummerSlam. And then Goldberg defeats The Fiend, kills him. And then we get Braun Strowman. Then we get Drew. It's just a lot of, if he's not beating our favorite stars, he's wrapping our favorite stars up in meaningless storylines. It's like when you have a favorite actor and then Marvel calls and goes, "Hey, Robert Downey Jr., we know you're an elite actor and you're going to make some Oscar-winning movies, and you know what? Screw that. Here's $1 billion. We're taking the art away, and you're going to be Iron Man for the next 15 years. Enjoy your life." And then people like me go, "Well, I liked him in serious movies, and he's really good. I don't want to see Tony Stark." That's what Goldberg does. He takes our people like Roman Reigns or Gunther or Bobby Lashley or Drew McIntyre or Dolph Ziggler or Kevin Owens and go, "Well, I know that's a big spot, but he does better art over here." So the fans, since 2017, Goldberg's been doing this to our favorite guys. That's it. It's wrapped up. Clip it.
Oh, just bring the house down, man. Just have to bring it down.
But we got Gunther. We got Gunther to talk about. Speaking of Gunther,
yeah,
Goldberg's last opponent, hopefully ever.
There you go, Frankie. There you go, Frankie. It's about damn time someone came in with some sense.
Not the GOAT.
Goldberg. He's one of the greatest.
Yeah, I know. Like you're right. Like I said it earlier. Yeah, you can't tell the story of professional wrestling without Bill Goldberg. You can't do it.
You can't. One of the greatest flash in the pans of all time.
Yeah,
it lasted. And again, every time you had him in the ring, you see. Here's the thing. Again, you got to take we talked about it with Frankie when we were bringing up AEW and WWE. You got to take everything. When you watch Goldberg, you know what you're getting with Goldberg. When you watch AEW, you know what you're getting with WWE. You know what you're getting with WWE. With Goldberg, you're getting moments. You're not going to have some 5-star, 4.5-star, 3-star match, whatever. You're going to have a big moment. Brock versus Goldberg, the second time they faced each other. The shock factor of the 15 seconds or whatever, how long it was. I don't know what it was. It's moments. That's what it was with Goldberg.
Speaking of moments, we're going to transition to the Last Time Is Now tournament where Gunther has beaten LA Knight to earn the opportunity to retire John Cena. I don't see the outrage because I'm not on social media. If you're upset, I just want to just make a disclaimer that I love all of you. If you're upset in any way, you need to get a grip because this was never going to happen. Did you really want to see LA Knight lose? And did you really want to see babyface versus babyface, respect versus respect? Or did you want to see Gunther in his prime doing what he does best, beat up baby faces and not cheat to do it and tell great stories? I can't wait to see the promos if we get them. One promo, I don't know, because this match is when next week.
Yeah.
We're gonna get something. We have to get something. Are we gonna get something? Is Gunther? Are we gonna get a face to face? Are we gonna get something to get us excited for this? Because we need it. I think the fans need it. But I think this was all in all the right choice. I'm glad they did it. I wanted to see it. I love Gunther. People should be excited. LA Knight doesn't need this.
Let me just say, Maria says Gunther was the right decision. Justin says Gunther was the right choice. Gunther. And then Frankie, you said, yes, we wanted LA Knight. I will say, I agree with Justin in regards of that. I with the tournament, I wish it was less predictable.
Yep.
It was, we all figured it was going to be Gunther. And again, I'm not disappointed with that because honestly, I don't think LA Knight needs that rub. I really don't. And I know Gunther, people are, but Gunther doesn't need it. Well, Gunther is, remember, that's their piece. He first off, he's earned the right to be where he's at. I'm not saying that they forced him down. I know. And I think people are looking past the point that all the matches that he's had in this tournament since he's returned from injury have been great matches. Carmelo Hayes, Solo Sikoa, all of them. I keep seeing everybody, 5-star, 4.5-star, whatever, whatever. Match is a match. Have fun. But they've all been great matches. And I think that's where you want to leave Cena off. Are you guaranteed a great match with LA Knight, with John Cena? I don't think you are. LA Knight's great. Do I think LA Knight needs to beat John Cena or fight or go against John Cena? Does that give him any kind of no? Do I think LA Knight needs needs to be forced into a title picture? No, I don't. Do I think that he should be involved in a title match or against the heel, whatever? Yeah, I do. I think it would be good. I think it would be fun. I think it would be good for business. But I don't think he needs to be versing John Cena. I'm not interested in a match against John Cena. I would be interested in a feud with John Cena. I think that would have been great. I think if it would have been, in this final 36 dates of John Cena's career and in heel Cena and babyface LA Knight, I think I would have been very happy to see that, but we didn't get it. You only had so many dates. John Cena said he wanted 220 something dates, but WWE, no, we only need 36. And that's all we got. So I'm not very interested in an LA Knight John Cena match. Just not. I'm interested in a story, but we don't have time for that. So if we're gonna again, I was fine with Dominic being the final opponent. We got 2 matches out of him, which was cool, and it was good. They did a great job. But I think Gunther versus John Cena is the right decision because you're gonna get the best final match of John Cena's career. Look what Gunther did with Goldberg. He made Goldberg look decent in his old age. Gunther versus John Cena. John Cena's had epic matches with AJ Styles. He had a good match with Dominic, great match with CM Punk. Imagine what he's going to be able to do with Goldberg in his final match. And John Cena's going to go all out. And Gunther's going to go all out to make John Cena look like $1 billion. Gunther was the right decision. He was. A lot of people are, like, oh, but, LA Knight needs the rub. Carmelo needs the rub. So-and-so needs the rub. It's not about the rub. It's not about it. You get the rub by doing the best match possible. You get the rub by being the best time. You being the best promo of the night when you're on the microphone. You get the fans behind you. That's how you get the rub.
Yeah.
Gunther is there, obviously, to continue his trajectory as one of the top young stars in WWE, but also to make sure John Cena goes out on top in his final match, and not even just winning. He doesn't have to win. John Cena could lose, and Gunther would make him look like $1 billion. John Cena does not need to beat Gunther, and vice versa. John Cena could win, and it still wouldn't hurt Gunther at all. It was the right choice. I had no business being in that ring that night. No, he didn't. But Gunther was the right call because Gunther would protect him and Gunther would actually make him look like he can actually beat him. That's the thing. That's what's I talked about Gunther the other day, but again, you can't take away how great Gunther is in the ring and on the mic. He's gotten so much better. He's a legitimate Iron Man, legitimate top of the card guy. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I understand the logic. Like, I understand, like, man, I would love to see a young guy, people, and then at the same breath, some other people say, oh, I want to see Edge versus John Cena in the final match. No, I'm good. Again, that's something I would have liked to see. Like I saw CM Punk and John Cena. I like to see those one-offs one more time. But the final match, I'm cool with this. And I think this was the right decision. I'm okay with it not being Braun Breaker. I'm okay. Braun Breaker's in another story, and he's doing great. Gunther being the guy, it protects John Cena. Because Gunther already he solidified his spot, but it protects John Cena, but also is going to give John Cena a chance to finish because he's had a lot of great. The guy just asked him today. I forgot his name, Chris Van Fleet, I think. He was saying to John Cena, like, no, was it him or was it Ben Simmons? Not Ben Simmons, Bill Simmons, saying to John Cena, like, why do you want to retire? And he's like, well, I said, if I took a step back, if I took a step back in the ring, then I'm going to go ahead and leave. He still loves it. He's not retiring on his terms. He said that. I'm not going out on my terms. If I could keep doing this, I'd be doing it. Which I believe him. John Cena seems to be a upfront guy. And he said also, but Bill Simmons says, it's like, but you're having some of the best matches of your career. He says, because I'm giving all I have. This is all I have left. And I believe in his final match, in that being against Gunther, it's going to be the best match on the card because it is John Cena's final match and because his opponent is Gunther. Frankie says Solo should have won the tournament. I love Solo Sikoa. I will not argue. Again, I'm not going to go away from I don't know if he's trolling or not, but I'm not going to go against the Gunther talk because I think Gunther, now that I think about it, I know Gunther's the right choice. But Solo Sikoa, first off, he had a great promo last night. That what he goes, you're not going to, you should, whatever about the Wyatt name and everything. Solo is, I love Solo Sikoa, man. And that dude should, again, I think he should have been a champion yesterday, but it's not my turn. Passing torch to someone younger is the plan. Probably that's why Gunther has been chosen. And I understand that. I think, right? I think we all understand it. But at the same time, the argument might be like, oh, but Gunther doesn't need the torch passed. Gunther's not the future John Cena. Gunther's not the future face of WWE. Maybe not. But he's gonna make the former face of WWE look like $1 million going out. That match will leave off, or what I expect. I'm gonna say, not gonna say it's gonna leave us. I say what I expect is that by the end of that match, Josh, we're going to go, damn, man, John Cena had a couple more years left. He's retiring at the top of his game, or what should be the top of his game, because of who he's going against. Because look what he did with AJ Styles. Let's be real. As much as we know John Cena, how good he is and how great he could be with anybody, it's the other opponent.
Yep.
If you would have put LA Knight versus John Cena, you would have had a SmackDown mid-card match, couple spots. Oh, LA Knight, yeah, you can't see me. Oh, with Gunther, you're going to have a, whoa, what the hell was that? Whoa, he could still do that? Whoa, you're going to have that successful thing, Go ahead.
At the end of the day, is LA Knight projected to be a WWE Hall of Famer?
I would say does he project right now? Let's just say he is self-built, right? You were the one who told me when I said, man, LA Knight was, I really liked him. You're like, well, dude, he's been this guy since TNA and whatever, Eli Drake. So
WWE.
I understand. What I'm going to say is, I would say right now, I know the fans would say yes. Right now, no. He has to win a championship. If he wins the world championship, I'm down with that. And I agree. I know it's a good question. Why does it matter, though? That's great.
It matters because
gotta get Frankie on the show, man.
Gunther is being bred to be a Hall of Famer. Why would you waste this spot on someone who isn't going to be etched into your history books and talked about and made documentaries about, and you need biographies on Gunther? That's going to happen. Gunther is young enough where he's going to be a legend in this game. If the projections are still there and he is still rising up the ranks and still doing what he's done, from his career projections are, yes, he's going to be a WWE legend. Look at John Cena's run since his return. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, R-Truth. Say what you want about him. He will be in the Hall of Fame one day. Say what you want about him. Cody Rhodes again. CM Punk. Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Sami Zayn. Like, he's only wrestling top tier people they trust in top tier spots. Do you think they trust LA Knight in top tier spots? Sure they do. I'm sure, like, in some ways they do. But do they trust Gunther? Is Gunther the best man for the job at the end of the day? He is. Because first off, logistics, wrestling 101, heel versus babyface. Okay, that makes sense. Simple. All right, wrestling 101, again, old, best of all time, going to get retired by someone who is the ring general, laying legends to rest now and claiming he is the best wrestler of all time. Boom, that checks out. Everything checks out. LA Knight does not check out whatsoever. You know what you're going to get with LA Knight? Fans sitting on their goddamn hands. You know why? Because no one's going to believe LA Knight's going to beat John Cena. People will believe Gunther will beat John Cena.
That's what you'd see. Respectfully, this.
You would.
LA Knight, yeah. And I loved LA Knight, but let's just be real. You're not, it's not wrong.
You would. That's what you would get. So Gunther is 1000% the correct spot. Only spot.
It's true. That
was a long time. That was a long time.
That wasn't the final match. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. That
wasn't the final run. That wasn't the final run.
He also lost against Austin Theory. Looking back, was that the right decision? No. But yeah, I get it. Braun Breaker, Obafemi. Hey, let me say something very quick. Obafemi. Tonight, NXT, right? I think it's a PLE for NXT. Obafemi versus who's he going? Oh my god, my brain sucks. But whoever wins the NXT title, Ricky Saints. It's Obafemi versus Ricky Saints, I believe. Whoever wins the title goes against Cody Rhodes on Saturday Night Main Event on the John Cena card. Kids yelling in the background. Forgive me.
That's okay.
No, let me just say this again. Let me give the credit. Frankie. Like I just said, LA Knight is self-made, right? He came in the WWE. They gave him that name. Was it Rene Dupree? Am I getting that right? Was that the name? Rene Dupree. Maxine Dupree.
I think it was. Was it Rene Dupree?
Was it Max Dupree? I'm thinking maybe it's another guy. Is that another guy? Is that the French dude?
Was it Max Dupree?
Max Dupree, because there was Maxine Dupree, and maybe it was Max Dupree. Maybe I'm right, but I know it was a Dupree. Anyway, he comes in here. He does that. They change him to LA Knight. He brings back Eli Drake, right? That character, which Josh educated me on when I was like, man, this LA Knight's really fun. I like him. Because people were, you had Kevin Nash, and so we're he's like The Rock in Austin, and he's trying to take he's his own guy. He's always been that way, and it sells off with the fans. And he is entertaining in the ring. He's nothing great. He's not a bad wrestler or nothing. He's not great, but he's fun in the ring. He's not bad, and he's great on the microphone. That's what you want in a WWE superstar. He's not this guy who comes from the indies and he's just a good in-ring guy. No, he's a WWE superstar. And I will say, does he deserve to be eventually in that stratosphere of title, US title, IC title, maybe sneaking into the world title picture as that one-off guy? Yes. In a Vince McMahon era, I assume someone like him, even though people are, he didn't like LA Knight. I get that. But in an era where Dolph Ziggler and so forth won a title one time, Albert Del Rio, yes, LA Knight would be a world champion. And if he won the world championship, then yes, he would be in that conversation to be a Hall of Famer. And I think he is on that trajectory. I'm saying he's not there yet. But, a lot of people are like, he deserves to be in the title picture. There's a lot of big names in the title picture. There are a lot of big names in the main event. So it's like, okay, if you're going to do that, who are you taking out of that picture? Are you taking Cody Rhodes out? Are you taking CM Punk? Are you going to take Breaker? Are you going to take Roman Reigns? Who are you taking out of that title picture to throw in LA Knight? And once you get it, once you have what you're asking for, how happy or satisfied you're going to be. I'll tell you what, like a better, as much I would love to see LA Knight as a champion. I'd love to see it happen. It'd be a great in-ring moment. Him on the mic, he sells it, all that above. I'm not taking anything away from him. I am taking away the fact that I think he would not be the best opponent for John Cena in the final. They would have had a great feud, and then, he could have beat Cena then. But because it's a one-off, Gunther is the best choice. And I think that goes with Solo, too. Solo has a story with John Cena, but I think because it is a one-off, I'd rather give it to Gunther because I know Gunther is going to give John Cena the best match, and it's going to finish off a great career. But I agree with you. Solo on the mic and Solo in the ring is better than his brothers. I love his brothers, but Solo on the mic and in the ring are great. Adrian, Rainy Day Pod. So Adrian, I assume he wanted LA Knight to win that. I assume we're gonna have to get the Rainy Day Pod in here as well. Adrian.
I just don't.
Yeah, again,
I don't get it.
Gunther is the right choice. Who's gonna give John Cena his best final match?
Why do you guys hate Gunther? Here's what I want to know. Why do you guys hate Gunther? Is it because he's boring? Is it because he's not? Is it because he has no charisma? Because he has charisma? Is it because he's not? Is it because he doesn't have the body mass or look like a professional wrestler? Because he does. I wrote this down as you were talking, and don't hate me on this, Adrian. Do not hate me on this, Frankie. LA Knight looks like he's playing wrestler. Gunther looks like a wrestler.
I like that.
It's true though.
Damn. Okay.
But it's true. Not that I love LA Knight. I've always loved LA Knight. I think his babyface work sucks. I prefer him as a heel. That being said,
I love LA Knight too. I'm an LA Knight fan, but
this isn't the spot for him, and it's okay. Yeah. Look, I have a favorite wrestler too. You know who my favorite wrestler is right now currently?
Goldberg.
No, honestly, currently it's Dominic Mysterio. He's my favorite. He's whoever's on TV. And if Dominic Mysterio is on there, I want to see him more than anybody else. Doesn't mean I want to see him the world title match against Cody Rhodes because he has his spot. LA Knight needs to find his spot. And right now, against John Cena is not his spot. It just doesn't make sense. It's like putting mustard on your mashed potatoes. I love mustard. I don't want them on my mashed potatoes. I know my analogies suck, but you get my point. I
Who
don't
put
want to see
mustard on their mashed potatoes?
nobody, but who would put
Oh.
LA Knight versus John Cena in their last match? Who would do that?
Yeah.
Psychos.
I agree with you. I don't disagree whatsoever.
Psychos.
Let's see.
You
Frankie.
guys are hating Gunther. Oh,
Edge. Frankie says Edge. Dominic has become a bigger star than Rey Mysterio has ever. Wow. Who said that? Somebody said that. Oh, Tony Khan, not Tony Khan. Who's the other Khan?
Nick Khan.
Nick Khan. He said Rey Mysterio was a nobody in WCW until he came to WWE, which I was like, whoa. Yeah.
We gotta have this debate. We gotta have this.
Hey, you know what? Awesome truth. I think that would, again, he has a lot of career left. And again, I'm not sleeping on LA Knight as a champion or anything else. I just don't think he's the right guy to be the final opponent because, again, he's not going to give John Cena his best match. It's just a fact. It's going to be Gunther is going to protect Cena. He's going to make him look like $1 million. Cena win, lose, or draw will look great in the ring. People are going to be leaving. If you again, LA Knight versus John Cena, be another match.
Blame Tony Khan for this.
Oh, really?
I'm blaming Tony Khan for all this. Yeah, all of it.
Ain't nobody eat mustard with mashed potatoes. Stop it. Stop it. Don't cause that. Ain't nobody talking about them.
No, I'm being dead serious, man. I'm thinking Tony Khan ruined everything because they think that you can just put two people to wrestle together with no story and it makes sense. Like half of the AEW is player A versus player B for no reason, right? So these people that watch that, the AEW sickos like Maria, they come in here and they go, well, LA Knight should be the wrestler. Well, why? What's the story? I don't know. He's just who I want to see. Well, why? So, what's the purpose?
If you felt that way, Bobby, then why even have a tournament?
There shouldn't have been a tournament.
Well, why? Because it was John Cena's last match. Makes it feel more important for WWE and the audience, the crowd, to say, you do understand, Frankie, with respect, that this is wrestling, that this is this story. They pre-plan everything, and they're like, okay, this is thing. But just because all these guys are in the tournament doesn't mean that they all have a shot to win this. Gunther was penned in to win. I'm just saying why it makes sense. Okay. And I will say, mustard does not go in mashed potatoes, but it does go in mashed potatoes before you make the mashed potatoes. You put some milk in there, fluff them up. Right, Adrian? I'm just saying.
Losing to John Cena does what for LA Knight? My question. Beating John Cena does what for LA Knight? This is going to be a great Saturday night main event pre-show. I can already tell we're going to talk about this. It's going to be great. I'm opening invitations to all who want to come on and debate this with us on before Saturday night main event, Bobby. I'm opening invitations to everybody who wants to debate this with us.
Let's see if Frankie and Adrian want to jump on. That would be fun. Let's be fun. And Frankie has to eat mashed potatoes with mustard live on the show. I would love to see that.
Because apparently everyone does it.
Maria says her ex-boyfriend used to eat mashed potatoes with Tabasco sauce, and that's why he's now the ex-boyfriend. She saw that and said, "Oh, hell no."
Yeah, that's kind of psychotic. That's kind of psychotic. I mean, I do some psychotic things too, but that's extremely psychotic.
Well, there you go. What time? I accept. There you go. We got the boys. They'll hop on, brother.
What time are we going to go live next week for the Saturday Night Main Event show?
What time does it start? It starts at night, right? It's not like it's
the night. I believe it's a night show.
We can do 5 p.m. I think 5 p.m. is still good.
That's a big show. All right, yeah. Set in stone.
Right? Are we good with 5 p.m., guys? You guys are good? Frankie and Adrian?
We'll talk off air. It'd be fun times. But listen, I'm gonna wrap this sucker up because my kids are hungry, and I'm addicted to Expedition 33, and I'm gonna go back to play it. Bobby, I'm surprised you don't like you like Lord of the Rings. You told me the greatest cinema moment of all time happened in Lord of the Rings, and I didn't even realize it happened. You're a nerd. You like this stuff. Oh, remember you told me like you are. It's okay. I'm a nerd too, bro. Like you said you like this kind of stuff. I'm surprised you don't like these Final Fantasy / RPG fantasy games. What's up with you?
First of all, I think we talked about this on the after the last show. I remember Final Fantasy. I haven't played Final Fantasy in forever because it used to piss me off because I hate that whole press A to strike, and you boom, and then you wait, and then the other guy hits you, and it's like, no, man. I
Oh,
just
so
want
you
to
don't like that? Okay, all right.
I love Rings of Power. Isn't that the game Lord of the Rings on Xbox?
Never played
Maybe that's a show, but I love Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Lord of the Rings is one of the greatest movies of all time. All three of them were amazing. The greatest moment was, the Rohan coming down to save Gundor. I'm about to say Gunther. It was Gundor. King Theoden, man, is legit. That's my dog.
Listen,
yeah, that's what I'm talking.
I like Lord of the Rings now that I'm an adult. I had to rewatch it as a younger person. It went over
Lord of
my
the Rings
head.
is awesome, and the music. See, I'm a
good.
film buff, but the music, the acting, the story, a movie that could get you go like this. You're watching, all of a sudden you go, oh man, it's a misty up in here, and then at the same time go, oh shit, yeah, that's an awesome freaking. What are you judging for?
I never felt emotional in that movie.
Because you're dry as hell.
I get emotional.
What makes you? Has there ever a movie or show make you go damn?
You would be surprised because my wife and she could vouch for me. I cry for every Pixar, every kids movie, all of them, Elsa, Frozen. I don't care to admit it. I do. I don't know why. Maybe because I have kids now and they all have these messages at the end. But like kids movies, like How to Train Your Dragon, when the dad and son finally embrace after they reconcile with her dragons, that gets me every time, Bobby. It does every time. But yeah, Lord of the Rings, elves, I like the games. I like the movies too, but I don't really get emotional for them. But either way, this game is like that. Press A, boom, and then you wait for them, and then they attack. It's the best. It's the greatest.
I love open world game. I'm more of a sports game guy, but I love open world. Like again, Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm playing right now. And I was telling my son, that's what I love. I love just, I'm on the horse. I see somebody minding their own business, cooking some food, coming up from behind, well, shanking them, running away. Somebody chases me. They're going to report me to the police, catch him up. Pop, pop, pop. Adrian says Batman is the GOAT. He absolutely is the GOAT. I'm 100,000% with you, man. I'm a Batman guy. What's your take on AJ Styles' catch of Kofi? Awesome. It was great. Cool moment. Him and Dragon Lee really enjoying their little run, and and it just shows that they all could still do it, especially Kofi Kingston, who's kind of fallen off in the background there, but that was cool. It was very cool. But next Saturday is Saturday main event. Let's see, Adrian and Frankie. Frankie says he'll check his schedule, but they are expected to be with us, so we'll see. Mortal Kombat is the go.
Good game.
Mortal Kombat's a lot of fun.
My dad, when we first got it back in Sega, my mom was like, "Make sure blood mode is off," and my dad was like, "Yeah, okay." And then we fatality, yeah, fatality. That was the best. Yeah,
flawless victory. Yeah, I love all that crap. I love the movies. I don't care.
The movies are good. The newer movie is good.
I enjoyed the newer movie. I love when Scorpion shows up and you Mortal Kombat. It's like, yeah, motherfucker. I was like, let's go.
The new one was surprisingly good. Yeah, so
it was good. I'm looking for part 2. I'm looking forward to part 2. But anyway, so guys, we appreciate everybody who's joined us. If you joined us after the show when we're not live, do us a favor. Tell us what you think about Gunther being the final opponent. Are we way out of line in regards of how we feel LA Knight being the final opponent if he was? Who are your Goldberg Sinister 6? Who are his 6 greatest rivals in his career? And hit that notifications bell, hit that subscription button, and join us next Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern time, here for our Saturday night main event preview show. Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, and yes, I'm really looking forward to that. Urban, have you guys watched The Boys? If you haven't, go check out The Boys. That's a great freaking show. You'd love that show if you love blood and guts and just ridiculous stuff. Bring in Bret Hart one day. That'd be awesome. But anyway, Josh, any final thoughts?
Yeah, final thoughts. I said it on the Rainy Day show. I believe I said it. If I didn't, I said it on our show last week. We are in trouble in the women's division, but long live the king. She's queen, I should say. She's back. That makes me happy for professional wrestling moving forward. Bobby, I have to admit this to everybody. We didn't talk about it. I actually watched the main event of Raw just because I knew Liv was going to interfere. That's the only reason why. She can get me to make. Listen, it's a whole other topic, but for the first time ever, WWE has more than 1 or 2 legit women's tag teams. Could you imagine Josh Kimmel saying that?
Yeah.
The women's division is on its way up, baby, and Liv is leading the charge. I can't wait.
There you go. Tomorrow I will be back on here live at 11 a.m. Eastern time for the Fins Talk pregame show. Dolphins versus the Jets, and then I'll be on tomorrow night as well, 8 p.m. Eastern for the post-game show. Yes.
Can I plug my show? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, do it.
Fantasy Now Plus. Josh Kimmel hosts his own Monday afternoon show now. I give you the week's reactions of fantasy football. I have to plug this because it's annoying Justin Bowerly, my buddy over there at Fantasy Now Plus. I was the number 3 ranker overall on Fantasy Pros in week 13. Overall. I was up there with the Yahoo people, the CBS people, the ESPN people. Professional ranker for week 13. Josh Kimmel is going to be putting my resume. Just want to put that out there.
There you go.
So check me out, Fantasy Now Plus. We're live on this network, Fins Talk Sports Network, as well as our own channel on Fantasy Now Plus. We're live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, soon to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for all your fantasy football needs.
And go to fantasynowplus.com where you get to see the rankings and see some awesome articles and all that so forth. Great group of guys. They kill it over there, and Josh definitely kills it. Guys, appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you all so much. We will discuss Frankie, Adrian, reach out to me. We'll work out the times and get you guys out the links for next show. Everyone else, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. And if you're Dolphin fans, join me tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time for the Dolphins pregame show, or the Fins Talk pregame show, Dolphins versus Jets. Like, subscribe, and good night. Enjoy your Saturday. Peace.